second on the ladder? The Bombros?
I got to pinch myself when I look at the ladder, to be honest with you.
I know.
Who expected Essendon to be this good?
No. Well, I knew they'd be good because, as Benny knows, I'm a huge fan of their coach, and I knew it wouldn't take Scotty long to turn them around. But second, that's a bit of a stretch for where I had you, Ben McKay. As we say hello to you.
Thanks, lads. Yeah, it's been a pretty good start. I think we've lost 2 games, but the comp's so even, JB, so it's hard to get a true gauge, but we'll certainly take second at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. When you have expectations pre-season, internally, is there a ladder position put on it at all?
Nah, definitely not. I mean, as JB said, Scotty is a very good operator. I've probably noticed the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's so good at sort of reining us back in. Like, we're human, we're going to think, we're going pretty well, and it's not a bad spot to be in, but he's so good at sort of bringing us back to the old cliche of being process-driven. So as much as we sort of do think ahead a little bit, the coaches are there to sort of drag us in when we get too far ahead of ourselves.
You've actually defended much better, and you have helped. You've had a ripping season so far. But even just you would, when you look up, see how much better Essendon are defending the ground. The sizzle and the slicing through that the other teams were doing in previous years, they're not doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you look at our backline, they're also versatile. And the one thing I've noticed is everyone values offense and defense exactly the same, even Zach Merritt as well. That's been a massive thing I've noticed, that offense and defense matter just as much, and that's so important. It's obviously 18-man defense, 18-man offense. So having Big Rids back on the weekend was awesome. Mason Redmond was playing really good footy as well. So I think we're not a perfect product yet, but Ben Jacobs, who was at North with me, is our backline coach, and he's been awesome for me, and I owe him a lot because he's been awesome for a whole group. He's still pretty fresh out of the game, so we've got some pretty good people in place to help us improve.
Good boy, Benny.
You mentioned Jordan Ridley. Their first game since August last year or July last year.
Yeah.
And he just dominated.
I think he played a half in the VFL last week, and it was wet, windy conditions out in Windy Hill, and then comes back and takes a piss basically. So he was awesome. He dominated. I've been waiting a long time to play with Rid, so he was really consistent, and he's only going to get better as well, which is the scary thing.
Just
JB.
getting back to Benny Jacobs, when he gets you in a huddle, do you ever say to him, Benny, do you understand what this part of the ground is? This is the back line. This is the back half. This is somewhere you never wandered as a player.
We do have to remind him a little bit. He's been great, though. He obviously tagged a lot, so he's got a bit of a defensive mindset naturally in him a little bit. But, again, the balance of offense and defense, even for me personally, has been great. He has sort of pushed my offense stuff and chipping away at that. And, he's been awesome, and can't thank him enough so far for being a familiar face and also a really good sounding board.
Now,
as well.
Limo, every week's important, so we're saying that. And Gold Coast is going to be very important, so we know that. But all eyes go to the next week. The first time ever the McKay boys are going to be on the same ground.
Don't jinx it, JB.
It is unbelievable.
It's 8 years in.
Is it 8 years in?
This is our 9th season, yeah.
9th season, and you've never played against each other?
Well, a couple of times in the VFL, if you want to count that. But
let's not count that.
No, we're not counting that.
Let's keep the story a bit of fun.
First time ever on the AFL field, hopefully in a couple of weeks.
So obviously to Essendon v Carlton, will you two line up on each other? Because if your respective coaches have any sense of occasion, you will be lining up on each other. Because, Jay, imagine sitting in the commentary box, JB. It's what you want.
Of course it's what you want.
Yes.
And you want it to get physical.
Of course.
Hopefully there's a bit of theatre around it. But, mate, it's a 50-50 guess. It's either him or Kerno. So I'm actually not sure what will happen.
What would your preference be?
Oh, you'd love to play on him and beat him. Obviously, we've spoken off air, JB, about belting your brother and getting the upper hand on him. But I think these days you do spend a lot of time on multiple opponents from a footy point of view. So there'll be times you're on both. But hopefully Scotty, understands the sense of occasion, Limo, and puts it together. But I'm fascinated. It's going to be an interesting
Are you stronger than him?
In bench press or things like that?
Just, like if you got in a wrestle, who wins?
I think if you find a gear against your brother, JB, so I'd back myself in. But
there we go.
I like it.
It is gonna be red hot.
Yeah, I think the Essendon Carlton rivalry is massive as it is. Yes. So,
and that's a big game. Well, you guys are up near the top of the ladder. They're all important, but that especially for Carlton is going to be a massive game for them.
Both teams have buys next week, so I'm sure everyone will leave it out in the ground. So get through this week and see how we go.
Still doing the podcast?
Yes, podcast is going well. The shoulder's getting a bit sore, mate, from carrying the show, but
exactly.
It's been great. We do it on a Monday, obviously, with the great people that listen to us, so it's been good. We've probably gotten a bit closer from it, to be honest, Harry and I, which has been nice, but really enjoying it and talking a bit of footy, a bit of rubbish. So it's good fun.
Awesome.
Oh, listener numbers will go through the roof after that Carlton Essendon
will.
game. Hey, Ben, what happens here at Triple M as we get some information from the team before guests come in? So I've got the Ben McKay sheet here. Now, I don't know if this was deliberately done for JB, but we've got the very first 2 lines. First one says 8 wins already in 2024 at the Bombers. Second line.
Lemo.
Second line says only 8 wins from 71 games
Who
at
put
North
this
Melbourne.
shit together, host?
Not me, maybe Joey. Look at him.
People can get sacked very easily from this organisation. It happens every day. And little Joey's got ahead of himself if he's writing this garbage.
I am aware of that stat, Limo. It has been obviously a pretty good start, but I've always said it. I love my time at North, mate, and it's such a wonderful organisation for the people inside and know a bit about it. It is a special place, and love my 8 years there. Obviously didn't win a heap of games, as you just pointed out, mate. But
I'm just reading off the sheet.
That was certainly one part of my journey, but enjoying my time now, and it's nice to sing the song a few times.
And you are an ambassador. And explain what this is about, please. These look absolutely magnificent.
They are,
the
JB.
Daniel's
I'm
Donuts.
an ambassador with Daniel's Donuts at the moment.
Right.
There's some exciting things going on. They've got their AFL club-themed donuts. Limo's got his Hawthorn ones there.
Yep.
You've got the North Melbourne ones there, and I've got some Essendon ones in front of me. So they're doing good things. It's also International Donut Day on June
really?
7th,
Yeah.
so that's coming up soon.
There is a day for everything.
There is.
But good
That
to
is
get
true.
involved with
It is,
International
mate.
Donut Day.
There's plenty of sites around Victoria as well. You can find a Daniel's Donuts or danielsdonuts.com.au if you want to get some. They are sublime, JB. So
You've had a crack at the
I've had
Essendon donut?
Yeah, I have. There's some jam in the middle of it as well, and it goes down very well. I heard you like donuts, Limo,
I
but
do.
not.
I love donuts, but I get the guilt as soon as I start
I'm
eating
the same.
one.
Yeah.
But I am going to have a crack at this
Go for it,
Hawthorn
mate.
one
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
They're so good. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Lucky you did that marathon or whatever it was on the
I
weekend.
am
exactly.
getting- I'm putting it all back on. I've got to run another 30 Ks now. But that is a delicious
How
donut.
good do they look?
They're really good. Yep.
Yep.
That is top quality.
Yep. They do a very good job.
And there's
Daniel's
some
Donuts.
and they dress them up as well. We've
Yep,
got
you've got some
marshmallows,
M&M ones there as well.
M&Ms, some sprinkles. Don't mind
Yeah.
me. What?
Wait,
You
no,
ate the
yeah.
whole 6 there.
You can
Limo.
pre-order, by the way, AFL Donuts, www.danielsdonut.com.au. Get behind your team and get behind a great cause.
Absolutely. Well said.
That's good. So we'll get stuck in. Now, what happened on the weekend? I've been away, Benny. I've been in Perth.
Yeah.
Catching up with family. So I just saw the score, but I didn't see any of the game.
Yeah.
Took a bit of shaking off the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers are a proud footy club, so we knew not to read too much externally around the last couple of weeks they had. It was a big game for both clubs, and for the first 3.5 quarters, probably it was a tough tussle. So they had some good players firing, like Dusty was good, and pressure in the middle. So it took us a while to grind down, but I'm glad we sort of got the win. And I think at the moment it's just banking wins and learning how to win. Is really important for our group. So we've been really trying hard not to externally read into previous results. And as I said earlier, Scotty's so good at bringing us back in and being about process and not getting too far ahead of ourselves. So it was a bit wet, a bit slippery, but a pretty cool occasion in general. My first dream time, obviously. So it was awesome.
I was watching Dusty and thinking to myself, he's playing like a bloke who's read a few newspaper articles over the last couple of weeks. Have you ever been in a situation where a coach has wheeled out a couple of newspaper stories to help motivate the team?
I haven't, thankfully. Not sure if they'd have a job if they did that, Limo. But he was good, though, Dusty. He was sharp, especially early. Although I thought Jaden Laverde played on him and did a really good job. They kicked it to him a lot inside 50 and stood up, especially late. They were peppering Dusty, and rightfully so. But I think we can all agree when the superstars are up and about, it's great for the game. So, it's good to see him back in form.
And what about Kyle Langford? What about what he's doing? He's the Alex Waterman of Essendon. A bloke
Jake Waterman, isn't it?
Jake Waterman. Yeah, sorry. He's not a forward. Never has been.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's gone forward and he's been ridiculously good.
Amazing. He played, I think he started back round 1 2023 because Pete was out with his shoulder and they threw the magnets around a little bit after he went down. Yeah. And he's been awesome. He's a true pro, Langers. He cares about his football and is very diligent. So I'm glad he's getting some results. But I think all the boys up there are pretty selfless, to be honest. Harrison Jones has been great. Pete, Jakey Stringer's in some good form. So
Tell you what, the package pulls him out when they're needed, doesn't he?
He knows he can read the room, I reckon.
When it
Jakey.
was in crucial moments on the weekend, the package just slotted one from
He
wherever.
kicked 3 in the first quarter. Should have had 4 in the first term. So he's one of those players that understands the sense of occasion. It was his 200th as well, Lima.
Yeah.
So he played really well, and he's been someone I've really enjoyed playing with. He is a really special type player and real burst sort of type energy giver. He's been great.
So bye coming up, 2 weeks. You get the better of your brother in a couple of weeks' time, and then you get the bye. What do you do? Do you get away anywhere? How do you handle that?
I think we get 4 or 5 days off, which is nice. So I haven't got anything planned just yet. My partner's got a full-time job, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to get away this year. So.
Get away on your own, mate. What are you talking about? Don't talk about that like it's a problem.
Yeah, sadly, she's got to keep working. Benny
I'll
just
duck away
can
for a
head
few
off.
days. I'll plan something the next little while, mate, and get through the first of the next couple of games and see how we go. But most guys, I think there's 5 or 6 guys from our club going up to Noosa, so
nice.
a bit of a hot spot.
Does anyone lobby for the? I mean, we know Jordan Ngari went to Bali. Was it last year?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Is anyone lobbying for just a cheeky little overseas
I
venture?
feel like it's a bit it's not. You've got like 5 days, so I don't think it's long enough to go overseas. Maybe for Geordie, but I think Noosa's far enough for a few boys. So any recommendations, mate? I've got a few days.
You could do. I think 5 days. You could duck over to Thailand for a 5-day trip. I reckon.
Well, I've just been to Perth, and it was glorious. It was 25, 26 degrees, and superb.
We were there 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was lovely.
Yep.
Wake up, go for a swim, get a coffee. It was beautiful. So
I didn't see him, but Chad Warner, I understand, was at Crown when I was there.
Right.
And they're on their bye. He's a Perth boy. I think they were reading a lot into it over there. He was over there to see Freo and,
Spoiling
and the
himself,
West Coast Eagles, and I'm thinking he actually comes from Perth.
Yeah.
So in the bye, he's probably just gone home and see his mum and dad. You're allowed to do that. There was a feeding frenzy around Chad Warner being
I
at.
can imagine.
But that is, go down to Cottesloe Beach, Benny, and have a
Is that the
very
place
nice,
to be? Yeah.
beautiful down there. What are we doing here? Daniel's Donuts Hose. How do we get around this?
Go to danielsdonuts.com.au. It is International Donut Day, Friday, June 7, but the AFL range is available at all 51 Daniels Donut stores across Victoria every game day and weekend.
Correct.
Beautiful.
Get your donuts and listen to the Ben and Harry podcast on Listener.
Well said, Rose.
Is there one
Thanks.
this week?
No,
Every week.
Oh, my apologies.
every week.
Yeah.
And now, as
Come
we
on,
let you go, how's Big Gold Man going?
He's going well.
Going
He's going
well?
well. It's nice to see him happy and smiling, and
Good.
he's really enjoying his footy. So
Playing bloody well, too.
he is. He's going well. Hopefully, he doesn't need a rest anytime soon because we need him. So
Yeah.
when Big Drapes is up and about again, I'm looking forward to seeing that duo. Hopefully, working really well.
Well, he's
so.
got 18 kids, so it's a sanctuary, the footy ground for Goldie.
Yeah, he loves getting to the footy club and sort of not worrying about the kids.
I'll tell you what, get him onto these donuts. They wouldn't even touch the sides with that big unit. I'm going to finish his Hawthorn up.
Go for
by
it.
the
Do
way.
it, mate. Great to see you, Benny. Keep
Thanks,
going.
guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, that's good.